it seems like from the people that I've talked to two other parents, and they're basically just happy that it's around. Is that what you're here to say too?
100%. And I am just so happy that the Avalon Foundation has continued with The Lion King. Um, I can't say enough wonderful things about it. Molly is so excited to participate in all of the weekly Zoom rehearsals that Miss Kimberly has sent out to us. In fact, I just got finished watching her do a Zoom through choreography, which was amazing, where she had at least 8 kids dancing through Zoom and doing choreography. It was really neat to see.
Um, and Molly does other things as well. On Zoom, she goes to school. I imagine, is that what she still does?
She does. She does. She uses Zoom. She Zooms her teachers weekly. So it's a great form of communication. It really is.
Well, but how is there a certain way? In other words, you can go to math class on Zoom, and you can go to history class on Zoom, but then you can kind of go to acting class on Zoom, which I imagine, at least in the school chairs, you can sort of scoot around and look at somebody over there, but when you're in a history class, but you can't really. The only place you can really move is when you're doing sort of drama or something like that, or acting or dancing or whatever. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Right. Well, actually, just in seeing that today, Miss Kimberly had them find a space where they could actually get up and move around and dance. And it was really, really fun to watch. It was nice to see Molly actually be able to get up and move around and express herself, because she has been doing Zoom with her teachers with math and English and everything. And it's great. They sit there and they talk, but this is a great way for her to get up and really express herself. Especially right now, we don't have the freedom to do much of that outside of the home, especially, but it's nice to see it within the home too.
It's probably funny to see everybody doing it on the screens a little bit too. It's a totally different look. You know what I mean?
It was
I mean,
great.
it's one thing when you're dancing in line with like 16 people or whatever. You're kind of looking like this. Yeah. Um, uh, did you see her sweating after she was dancing it all today?
Oh,
And
absolutely. And
that's a good sign, man. That's
it
a
was
good
45
sign.
minutes. Yeah, it was
Right.
great. I was really impressed with how Miss Kimberly did that. It was very, very well organized.
We're going to try and come up with a routine next, actually, that we kind of like to have everybody tune in for. We just talked about that today. She said it went really well
I can't wait. It was fun to watch.
today. As in your profession, Heather, um, what is your opinion about the foundation's work and keeping this going for the health of the young kids?
I think it is so important to keep this going. I mean, everything that the Avalon Foundation does and the meaning behind it all, the foundation for the foundation, it's so important for these children to stay engaged, to be able to express themselves through art, through creativity. It is so important socially, emotionally, physically, and with as healthy as that is for the social and emotional aspect, it flows into academics. So like with Molly, she loves doing this through the Avalon Foundation. She loves participating in the Lion King, and it really boosts her self-esteem, and that flows into her schoolwork, her classwork, just her zest for life overall. It's really a domino effect, and a very positive one.
Heather, and this may make the cut, it may not make the cut. I'm curious is if you could go into a little further into how it helps her self-esteem, and maybe it's just enough to say it helps her self-esteem, but you may know a little bit more, have a little more insight into that.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I can just tell you, she was in Junie B. Jones, and she played the part of Lucille. And up until that time, when she had to try out for Junie B, she had never really been on stage by herself. She had done, she started with How Does Your Garden Grow? She did Littlest Reindeer. She did Circus Circus, Pajama Party, but Junie B. Jones was her first experience of getting up on stage, singing, having a solo. And that, to me, when she tried out for that and did it, it was like she was fearless on the stage. It was like a whole other part of her personality came out. And since then, she has just loved performing, and it's really it has built her self-esteem in ways I it's wonderful to see. It really has.
I'm going to ask you one more question about her, make an observation about that. I actually watched that happen to her too, because I was there backstage at Junie B. Jones and trying to get her to do some things as Lucille and that sort of stuff. And then, that's I'm kind of like a coach in that way. Kimberly's the director for those younger kids things. And, you have your impressions about what's going on with, they're going to be able to do this and then went back and forth and she did the whole thing. But when she came back for Elf, she was a totally different person on that stage.
Yes.
And so finally, I guess, and it was cool to see, because she was much more confident. She wasn't, direction didn't surprise her. She didn't walk away with like, well, why should I do that? Or a sort of stunned look on her face. She was like, got it. That's what I'll do. And it was just a total difference. Why is that important, Heather?
Well, it's so important because it flows into her everyday life. Having done that, having gotten up on stage and realizing that she can do it, believes in herself, it just flows into everyday life. If something's hard at school, or if she has to do a project at school in front of the class, something that was hard before, she knows now, hey, this is a piece of cake. And I always tell her, Molly, you got up in front of 500 people in a night and sang a solo. You've got this. And she's like, you know what, I do. It lit a spark in her. And Elf, it was the same way, that confidence. And I just see that confidence now. And especially as she's getting ready to navigate the waters of middle school, it does. It gave her a whole new self-esteem and self-confidence. So it's great. It's great to see.
Well, Heather, I really appreciate you taking time to talk about that. And, continued best of luck in work and, hope the new reality that we're in. And it'll be good to see Molly on stage or on Zoom performance whenever we can.
That's right. Well, truly, we just thank you all and the Avalon Foundation for all that you do for our kids and our community.
Thanks, Heather.
All right. Thanks, Tim.